the anti-Semitism itself, or just in respect of Israel in particular?
Yeah, anti-Semitism.
Well, it's thousands of years old. It evolves and it morphs over time. So around the time of Jesus, I guess there was a lot of it. I guess originally it had theological origins. So the Jews were the kind of the rebels, the people who refused to accept Christ as the Messiah, because Christianity evolved out of Judaism. Of course, Jesus was a Jew. The Jews, the Jewish people who remained Jewish said, we don't acknowledge him as the Messiah, whereas Christian people, or people who became Christian, did acknowledge him as the Messiah basis. So that's kind of how that split off really happened between Judaism and Christianity. So there was, it's kind of theological in origin, but then it's kind of morphed over time. So Rabbi, I don't know if you've heard of the late Lord Rabbi Sachs in England. He was the chief rabbi of the Commonwealth, an amazing man, not just as a rabbi, as a philosopher, a theologian, just a great thinker actually. But he's one of his speeches I've gone back to a lot of times. He sort of talks about the way that he talks about anti-Semitism as being a mutating virus, so it changes form over time. It kind of shapeshifts. So it started off as like a having this kind of theological basis or religious basis during medieval times and stuff. Then it became when religion kind of, after the Enlightenment, so when religion wasn't really like the kind of organising, governing force in society, or I guess you'd say in kind of the Western world, in Europe and stuff, then it became a race-based thing, obviously the most obvious example being during the Holocaust. So because science was then kind of like the most important for, Enlightenment, science, whatever, so it became this sort of race science thing. That's what the Nazis were all about, of course, that the Jews were, an impure race and they were, polluting the Aryan race and that kind of thing. And now and this is still, according to Rabbi Sachs, now really human rights have become the sort of, the highest ideal in society in a way,